In the misty fjords of Norway, the year was 910 AD, and the air was thick with the biting cold of early spring. Sigurd, an older, battle-scarred Viking, stood by the icy water watching his men prepare their massive oak longship. He was not dressed in shiny armor or a horned helmet, but in layers of thick woven wool, a heavy bearskin cloak, and a simple iron cap. His beard was gray, his hands calloused from years of rowing and fighting, and his eyes held the quiet wisdom of a man who had survived many brutal winters.
Now listen. This time, my brothers, we are not sailing west to raid, but east to trade.
Their ship was heavily loaded with the treasures of the north.
Load the thick animal furs and the precious walrus ivory carefully.
And glowing yellow amber. Sigurd and his crew of 40 men were preparing for the dangerous journey down the deep rivers of Eastern Europe.
Heading towards the great markets of the Byzantine Empire.
As the women and children of their village watched silently from the snowy banks,
"Take to your oars, row for our future!"
the men took to their oars and rowed out into the freezing fog. The journey was far from easy, and the strange rivers were full of deadly challenges. For weeks, they rowed through harsh winds and heavy rain, their muscles burning with every stroke. When the river water grew too shallow to float the ship, the true test of their strength began. The men had to step into the freezing mud, place massive wooden logs under their heavy ship, and pull it manually across the dry land to reach the next riverbed. It was back-breaking work that tested their endurance, proving that a Viking's greatest weapon was often his sheer willpower, not his axe. Danger was always waiting in the dark forests lining the riverbanks. One quiet evening, as they pulled the ship through a narrow stream, a group of local bandits ambushed them from the trees, raining down arrows. Sigurd didn't panic. He calmly shouted a command, and his men instantly formed a tight wall of round, painted wooden shields. The skirmish was short, brutal, and entirely real. No magical powers, just the terrifying clash of iron spears and heavy axes. They fought not for the glory of war, but to protect the precious cargo that would secure their family's survival back home. Months after leaving their icy homeland, the air finally grew warm, and the landscape changed completely. Before them stood the massive stone walls and golden domes of Constantinople, which the Vikings called Miklagard, the great city. Sigurd and his weary men stared in awe at the silken banners and bustling, colorful markets. They successfully traded their northern furs and ivory for chests of heavy silver coins, fine silk, and rare spices. As Sigurd looked at his exhausted but wealthy crew, he smiled, knowing they had conquered the world not just with their swords, but with their unmatched courage and unbreakable endurance.